I'll give some tips, right? But you know, we announced Mistplay Audience Network this week, right? And that brings together connected rewards that we acquired from Mobivity, the MAF or MyChips acquisition. So today, any advertiser that's buying on Mistplay, we've already built the pipes for that revenue to flow through, or the spend to flow through to Loyalty Play, to MyChips, to all of the publisher network that we have. So it's already there, and we're working on migrating like a bulk of the advertisers to this one campaign system as we speak.
It's 4 a.m. and we're rolling the dice. Matej drops knowledge made of gold and ice. Felix with ads making those coins rise. Jack up designs, worlds chasing the skies. We're the 2.5 gamers, the midnight crew, talking UA adverts and game design too. Matej, Felix, Shaka, bringing the insight. We're rocking those vibes till the early daylight. Matej, UA, master eyes on the prize, tracking data through the cyberspace skies. Felix stacks dollars like a wizard in disguise. Jacob's crafted realms lift us to the highs. 2.5 gamers talking smack. Slow hockey stick, got your back. Ads are beautiful, they light the way. Click it fast, don't delay.
Hello everybody, this is 2.5 Gamers from EMEA Vegas. We have Massimo and Mark again, but for those who don't remember these guys, please introduce yourself again.
Thank you, Matej. So hi everyone, I'm Massimo, founder of MEF, now working to scale the international business with Mistplay. So I'm very happy to be here once again. Thank you.
Cool. And I'm Mark, General Manager for Loyalty Play at Mistplay, which is our publisher network, obviously working very closely with Massimo on building out the international business as well as here in North America.
Nice, and I'm Matej Lančarič, I'm a host today. So it's a very special episode, as you can see, the setup. So Massimo, there was this Slack message, who is MAF? It's actually really like funny story, but how do you how do you feel on your side when all of this was kind of happening?
Well, I think the message resembles a little bit how things start in our industry, like from curiosity, So who is MAF? Like what they are doing, what they are building, are they building something like us? So this message originally was from Oli, and I think that after that they got to know us a little bit better, and we got to know them a little bit better. Obviously, we knew each other in the industry, but never had the chance to work closely together. And I think that from that curiosity, we quickly figured it out that we are building different things, but going to the same vision. So bringing rewarded into loyalty. We always say MAF, like our payoff is transforming advertising into discovery. So I think what Mistplay has built in the last decade is pretty much that. And I think together we can, it's natural, we can do it better and faster.
Yeah, we always say Mistplay is the OG, right? So, but why Mistplay? Why now? Because I mean, that's the million dollar question, or maybe billion.
Yeah, well, that's true. We'll make it $1 billion question.
Yeah, there you go.
I think the timing was very right. When we launched MyChips about 4 years ago, we had a vision. We wanted to scale it to as many publishers as possible. We want to build an experience that doesn't disrupt what the user is doing in the app, so brings monetization and engagement at the same time. And I think we scaled it pretty well, especially in EMEA, in APAC. Those are our biggest region. So we were into a point where we knew where we want to bring the product next, but at the same time, I think we found a partner where we can do just faster, like all the technology, the data science that Mistplay has built on the back end. I think it's probably the biggest leverage that we're using right now to just get to as many publishers as possible.
Then the question for you as well, like why MAF and why now?
Yeah, well, I think what Massimo was saying is kind of one of the key points, which is like getting there faster. Right? Yep. It's where we could be independently in 12 months from now if this deal didn't happen. Like bringing us together, if we can bring that to today, where we can be in 12 months is obviously a lot more significant. So obviously you alluded to it, the strategy is there. We were both gunning after the same kind of ambition of creating this platform where, advertisers can buy and really get scale. And they've been focused on international, predominantly with sites on the US. Really this year, you guys were ramping up. and we've been very intentionally focused domestically in the US. So it kind of dovetailed really nicely that, hey, actually, the two together is more like 1 + 1 is more than 2. And then we can really just accelerate a lot quicker because we had all of the pieces of the puzzle.
So those are pretty much the synergies.
Exactly. Yeah. There's almost no overlap in terms of people and focus and customers. So, you know, it's all incremental for both of us pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. Then the geos you mentioned, right? So you're strong in like North America. What do you bring in like APAC? Like what kind of inventory?
Yeah, so historically, EMEA have always been a supply-first company. We've been focusing very heavily on the supply. And the team and the partnership that we build in APAC, Japan and Korea first, are really outstanding. We have a publisher from banking to manga that are going live as we speak. So we are adding more as we speak, which are really changing the game. Like the type of loyalty and the type of engagement and loyalty you see from users in APAC, it's completely different from USA or EMEA. It's insane. Yeah, you're seeing if you see 80% retention rate day one, it's probably in the norm. So that's really crazy. So the thing there is that you don't have to win the trust of the user again and again, as you have to do in USA or EMEA. The trust of the users, yeah, because they are used to loyalty system. They are, if you go there, if you spend like a week in Japan, you see point systems. They call it point system for pretty much everything. Yeah. Even you want to get a drink, you can use the point system to get a Coca-Cola or whatever from the vending machine. So they're born historically with this in their mind. This is their life, no? Accumulating points. So when we got the experience of you play games to get points to publish like NAA, so the airlines, the major airlines in the country, I think it's natural for the user that this is just another way they can earn points and rewards, and yeah, that's why they are engaging crazily with that. So I think the local team that we build, the trust that we have with the partners, which is not only a monetization partnership, we help them also with the UX, we help them with the product. It's very important in Asia to have like a 360-degree partnership. I think really made a difference.
I think one little call out, slightly tangential, but when we talk about the geos, obviously the Mistplay consumer app we're strong in North America, so US, Canada. We're obviously in a lot of Northwestern European geos, but we're increasingly strong in Korea and Japan, and we're investing there. So there are synergies, not kind of overlap, because we're strong on the consumer business in those markets, and obviously MAF brings the B2B business. So when I mentioned like we've been focused on North America, that's purely on the network strategy of bringing on publishers. So it fits together nicely, like demand and supply.
And how does that demand and supply between MyChips and Mistplay work?
Yeah, it's a good question. Obviously, we careful not to speak too much of under the hood, but already very early into this integration.
Something.
Yeah, exactly. I'll give some tips, right? But you know, we announced Mistplay Audience Network this week, right? And that brings together connected rewards that we acquired from Mobivity, the MAF or MyChips like acquisition. So today, any advertiser that's buying on Mistplay, we've already built the pipes for that revenue to flow through, or the spend to flow through to Loyalty Play, to MyChips, to all of the publisher network that we have. So it's already there, and we're working on migrating like a bulk of the advertisers to this one campaign system as we speak. So yeah, the team's been working really hard on that since close, so that we can realize that like announcement as soon as we made it here. So literally next week coming out of MAU, we're going to be, you know, getting advertisers set up. So it's a pretty here and now. It's not like, hey, 6 months, maybe we'll be in a place where it's kind of working. No, we're kind of good to go.
How is that even possible? You're good to go. Come on.
I'll let you speak to it. Yeah, this is one of the things about why, you know, you obviously asked why Mistplay, why now, but you know, why MAF, why MyChips right now. You know, Massimo, Ricardo, and Alessandro, the 3 founders, you know, they're hustlers, they're executors. They've been running this business. It's bootstrapped, which means it's profitable, right? It's no investment from outside, really been growing it. These guys move super fast, and they're bringing that to the B2B business. So especially Ricardo on the engineering side, he's like, I'll get it done today. Like, he's like writing the code as we speak.
How big is the company now?
70 people, around 70-ish.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and I mean, but the engineering team is like 5, 6, 7 people. It's a handful of people. So again, although we're bringing a lot of AI on the engine side of how do we power smart decisions, they've been leveraging a lot of AI tools of how do you build the code quickly and build a really cool product. So yeah, already their team's having a massive impact to our velocity.
Right. So then you explain, please, because this is incredible that you can.
No, I mean the acquisition has been just announced 2 weeks ago, but obviously has been in the making for a while. So I could say we cleaned the house a little bit to be ready for day one.
Yeah, so we had a shared picture of, okay, this is how it's going to work. This could be for nothing, but we've been working. These things don't take weeks; they take months, they take years. So we've been speaking a long time.
And I think also how we built the backend of MyChips historically, it's very modular based, so it's not too tough.
No spaghetti code.
Maybe a little bit. I mean, we are from Italy, so we have to. Yeah, I guess we have. No, but it always been Ricardo and the tech team. They always build with the vision of this is not going to be a backend, a platform to serve 10 apps or 50 apps. We always wanted to scale to thousands and thousands of publishers. So from the day one, we made it in a way that it's scalable. You can plug in new sources. You can plug in more demand. So the first thing that we are actually doing right now is integrating the teams, but also integrating the demand. Yeah. I think we have done an amazing job on the supply. We're doing a very great job on the demand, but Mistplay has been in the industry for more than 10 years. And I think everybody knows that it's considered one of the top sources when it comes to UA, rewarded UA. So I guess that the quality of the inventory that they can bring to our publisher, it's just outstanding. And we already see a reflection directly in the CPM or ARPDAU of the publishers without touching anything in the integration. So the publisher doesn't have to, adopt a new feature or change anything. It's just a matter of having more inventory to bring it to the user, to the players, and a better way, a better data engine to sort the games for the users.
You mentioned you want to scale, and you also mentioned it's still high quality. It usually doesn't really go along.
You mean scale the number of
publishers? Yes, and then still maintain the quality. How can you ensure that it's going to happen?
Well, I tend to disagree with that because I believe that. Yes. I mean, the vision we had is we want to be an open network where any publisher can register and go live in 5 minutes. This is the idea. So that's why we build the platform. We build the self-service registration for publishers. Of course, there is a control from our team, and they need to be guided because as of today, using an offer wall is not the same as using any mediation or any rewarded videos. It's more standardized. There is a format. Yeah. It's just full screen. It's very easy. Offer wall, it's more like a loyalty and engagement solution for the user. So it needs to be built in the app. If you just drop it there, it's not going to make that much revenue as you think. So there needs to be a contact with our account manager. We need to work together with the publisher. But the idea is that the more we move forward, the more we give tools to the publisher to build everything on their own. No? We're working now on a placement which will actually be the first native placement for offer walls, where they can show games even outside of the experience of the offer wall, no? And manage everything on the UI. No? Very similar to what Google did with the native ads back in time.
Maybe just to add my 2 cents on quality.
Tell this. No.
Secret exclusive. No. It's exciting stuff that we're working on, right? And we're stepping up the amount of stuff we want to announce and share. But on quality, all I was going to say is it's kind of a product of a couple of things. You've got engagement and you've got fraud, right? Yeah. So the Mistplay engine, as well as the MyChips backend, we built a lot of great fraud solutions to really weed out those users. And then it's how do they engage with the rewards? If you can price that correctly and remove the fraud, there's always a price where the quality makes sense, because quality is really just how much am I spending and how much am I getting back, and maybe a little bit of retention long term.
Retention doesn't pay bills.
Exactly. Retention's a nice glory metric on top. It's hey, we kept 5% of the users because they love the game. It sounds good. But ultimately, if you solve that problem, if I can buy it for $1 and I can make $1.20, that's fine. If we can buy it for 20 and make 25, also fine. Great for everyone, right?
What does that all this means to you, Mark? You come back from MAU on Monday, and then what now? Because you said you're ready, so
yeah. So the technical integration part and opening the fire hose to all of our publishers or across the MyChips and Loyalty Play platform, is actually relatively easy compared to the bigger challenge, which is how do we combine the platform long-term, the people integration right now is we've got 70 people coming from MyChips, a bunch of people coming from Connected Rewards. It's how do we bring them into the culture, into the mindset. We never would have bought a 70-person organization if we didn't feel that our philosophies were pretty close to each other, but there's some working differences. So for me, the next 6 months is like integration hell, as they call it, which is like just getting everyone, into their functions, into their roles. Advertisers can have one account manager that manages their business across the entirety of the platform, just streamlining a lot of things.
Yeah, but you need to change a lot of processes, no?
Yeah, I mean, evolve them.
Okay.
I think there are some things that we do really well that haven't been top priorities for the MyChips team. And equivocally, there's some stuff that these guys are awesome at where we're kind of just starting to scratch the surface on what to do. So we're really taking a look at it together and adopting the best of both. And then we just want to get back to executing like cool shit on the product side, right? That's the next bit, is like, what can we do to really be at the bleeding edge frontier of how the offer wall space should work?
MyChips still remaining like fully operational?
It is fully operational. There is no disruption for clients on both sides, like advertiser or publishers. As Mark said, we are making the integrations right now, but nothing's changing for the publisher.
That's what everybody wants to hear.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Like we wanted to reduce the amount of thrash and movement. Is like, yes, we'll be rebranding some stuff. We will move some integrations from the Loyalty Play platform onto MyChips, which is essentially now the Loyalty Play engine for the publisher side. But we don't need to create new campaigns and get new tracking links and new IOs and all that stuff. We're trying to keep it simple as possible. Yeah. Like Aaron said, just one click, extend that spend off platform.
It sounds very, very good.
That's the dream.
Yeah, that's the dream. Look, so reworded UA and like everybody's talking about consolidation, but only Mistplay done it so far. Like, why is that? Why is it happening?
It's a good question. I mean, I'm actually interested to get your thoughts more than mine, but I think, look, we've got a lot of rewarded platforms, whether that's consumer apps or B2B networks like us that have got to a certain scale where it's like, hey, it's expensive, right, to acquire. Like, we just spent a lot of money building this business because we're really investing in this space. So there's probably a handful of companies that can afford to buy the platforms that are meaningful out there. So that's definitely one factor. But these businesses are generally quite profitable. So not to speak on your behalf, but the MyChips guys weren't looking to sell when we started talking to them. This wasn't like an auction where everyone was jumping in. It was very much like, we were like, hey, there's some synergy here. We think there's, there was a lot of flirting happened. So, I think it's a lot of these founders that are in the earlier stages of business are seeing if they can be the leader, out of a peer of four or five or six competitors. But I do think we're going to see more. Who is the question? There's big guys in this space like the Agos where, my personal opinion, they're probably not looking to buy anything right now because they have the B2B. I guess they used to have a consumer business, I believe, which isn't, I guess it's not as big a part of it. But, there's other players, there's Xmox, there's Free Cash, there's all these guys that have cash and could make a play for similar stuff. I mean, for me, it's exciting. It kind of validates the strategy that we're already executing. And we like worthy adversaries, right?
Yeah, well, look, I heard UA is dead, reworded UA is dead, like everything is dead pretty much in mobile, like 10 times in the last couple of years. Here we are.
Exactly.
But what's your take on the consolidation?
I agree with Mark. I think there will be way more consolidation moving forward. Some will be driven by strategy. Some maybe will be driven by FOMO. Let's see. Definitely, it always happens like that.
Way to get a good price, right?
It always happens like that. But I believe that, Mark is right. We were not looking to sell when Mistplay came to us. We just decided to sit together and see where this conversation brings us. And actually, we found out a lot of things in common. So it felt very natural to combine the forces. I think, you say Mistplay is the OG. We have been looking at the apps pretty much from when we started. Yep. Always been one of the points where we looked at as a good case study and example of when we want to build a rewarded solution. So I think joining the forces with them makes much more sense to any other players that would be just more like a financial acquisition rather than a real partnership and long-term plan. But I agree. There will be more. Who
it is, let's see. We can put some money on it later, maybe.
Like, so let's fast forward to MAU 2027. So here we are now. The deal is fresh. What do you think you're going to be able to say next year when we sit together about like how it went?
Well, if we're sitting here in a year's time, I'd like to say with absolutely no uncertainty or controversy that we're the #1 UA platform for rewarded. That's really the North Star, right? And I think we both share that vision.
Be the #1 rewarded platform for rewarded, and also we want to bring all the rewarded play experience to vertical that now hasn't been touched yet. Like historically, all the offers are very strong reward apps. The performance is there, the scale is there, everyone likes it. But we believe there's still a lot to discover. We're just scratching the surface. So I think in a year from now, we'll come here again to this table, being the #1 and having a solution which is adopted by many different verticals, not just reward.
And maybe 1 or 2 other people that we bought into Mistplay. I think we need to stop. I think we need.
Exactly.
No, it's all about strategic opportunity, right?
Yeah. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming here again. I mean, this is I think our 3rd Mistplay MAU podcast, so definitely gonna be here next year. And with you as well. Thank you very much. See you next time.